The revelation of a previously unknown DNA test linking Princess Diana to a secret child has sent shockwaves through the British royal family, pushing Queen Camilla to the brink and threatening to destabilize the line of succession. This isn't merely a scandalous rumor, it's a potential constitutional crisis, forcing the monarchy to confront a long-buried secret with potentially devastating consequences. The narrative explores the immediate impact of this revelation, the historical context surrounding Princess Diana's life, the potential implications for the line of succession, and the monarchy's desperate attempts to control the narrative. The story begins with Queen Camilla's collapse at Clarence House after receiving a DNA report definitively linking Princess Diana to a 38-year-old man previously unknown to the public. This report, obtained through a private legal investigation, revealed a 99.9% maternal DNA match, a result so conclusive it leaves little room for doubt. Camilla's reaction, a physical manifestation of her distress, underscores the gravity of the situation and the profound implications for her own position and the stability of the monarchy. The collapse, therefore, is not simply a physical event. It is a symbolic representation of the monarchy's vulnerability in the face of this revelation. The collapse, therefore, is not simply a medical episode. It is a dramatic representation of the monarchy's vulnerability in the face of this revelation. The revelation forces a re-examination of Princess Diana's life, particularly a period of unexplained absence from public life in the early 1980s. While previously attributed to exhaustion or media pressure, this period is now viewed as a potential cover-up, raising the possibility that Diana was pregnant and gave birth to a child secretly. This re-examination, therefore, is not simply a historical reassessment. It is a critical investigation into a potential cover-up that could have profound implications for the monarchy. This re-examination, therefore, is not simply a historical analysis. It is a critical investigation into a potential cover-up that could have profound implications for the monarchy. The existence of this previously unknown child, if confirmed, would have significant implications for the line of succession. The child's claim to a place within the royal family, even if not explicitly stated, would challenge the established order and potentially undermine the legitimacy of King Charles's reign. The implications, therefore, are not simply a matter of family dynamics. They are a potential constitutional crisis with far-reaching consequences. The implications, therefore, are not simply a matter of inheritance. They are a potential constitutional crisis with far-reaching consequences. The monarchy's immediate response, characterized by secrecy and attempts at damage control, highlights the gravity of the situation. The implementation of the Windsor Protocol, a rarely used crisis management plan, involved suppressing information, securing confidentiality agreements, and monitoring the individual identified in the DNA report. The response, therefore, is not simply a reaction to a scandal. It is a strategic attempt to contain a potentially explosive situation. The response, therefore, is not simply damage control. It is a strategic attempt to contain a potentially explosive situation that could threaten the very foundation of the monarchy. The individual identified in the DNA report, initially known only as Subject 7A, has since come forward publicly, releasing a video statement confirming his belief that Princess Diana is his mother. This statement, devoid of demands for titles or financial compensation, focuses on the simple desire for recognition and the truth. The statement, therefore, is not simply a claim. It is a powerful declaration of identity and a challenge to the monarchy's attempts at concealment. The statement, therefore, is not simply a personal revelation. It is a powerful challenge to the monarchy's attempts at concealment. Public's reaction has been immediate and widespread, with social media platforms flooded with comments and speculation. The revelation has reignited public interest in Princess Diana's life and has prompted calls for transparency and accountability from the royal family. The public reaction, therefore, is not simply a matter of gossip. It is a powerful expression of public sentiment and a demand for transparency and accountability. The public reaction, therefore, is not simply a matter of curiosity. It is a powerful expression of public sentiment and a demand for transparency and accountability. The situation has created a deep rift within the royal family, with reports of internal disagreements and conflicting strategies for handling the crisis. King Charles's reported inaction, Prince William's alleged outrage, and Princess Anne's cautious assessment all highlight the complex dynamics at play. The internal divisions, therefore, are not simply family disagreements. They are a reflection of the profound implications of this revelation for the future of the monarchy. The internal divisions, therefore, are not simply personal conflicts. They are a reflection of the profound implications of this revelation for the future of the monarchy. Queen Camilla's emotional breakdown, the monarchy's attempts at secrecy, and the individual's public statement all converge to create a narrative of profound tension and uncertainty. The situation, therefore, is not simply a scandal. It is a crisis of identity, legitimacy, and the very foundations of the British monarchy. The situation, therefore, is not simply a matter of royal intrigue. It is a crisis of identity, legitimacy, and the very foundations of the British monarchy. The emergence of this long-buried secret, therefore, is not merely a historical revelation. It is a potential turning point in the history of the British monarchy. Consequences of this revelation, both for the royal family and for the British public, remain to be seen. The consequences, therefore, are not simply a matter of speculation. They are a potential turning point in the history of the British monarchy. The consequences, therefore, are not simply a matter of conjecture. They are a potential turning point in the history of the British monarchy. The narrative, therefore, is not simply a story of scandal. It is a powerful exploration of the complexities of truth, legacy, and the enduring power of secrets.